There are concerns SAPS top brass could be involved in drug syndicates, corruption, and meddling with key investigations. A neighbor rams her car into a group of girls because she doesn't like their Zulu attire, and the blue crane could be suffering from stress caused by climate change. Hello there, I'm Sifiso Zulu.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
The chips are beginning to fall within SAPS as a battle over police leadership continues to take center stage within the embattled organization. In an unprecedented move, KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made several damning allegations against top police officials, including Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and the National Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya. Mkhwanazi claims they are complicit in a syndicate controlled by drug cartels and business people who have infiltrated organized crime in the country. Now, the issue stems from a letter by Mchunu to disband the KZN Political Killing Task Team in December. Mkhwanazi believes the task team is being targeted due to their work in unraveling a serious web of corruption in Gauteng's criminal justice system.
The Political Killings Task Team remains operational. Therefore, we have embarked on a process of registering a criminal investigation in order to deal with this infiltration and control of the criminal justice system by the organized crime.
While Sibiya has labeled Mkhwanazi's allegations as baseless lies, Mchunu says he's preparing to address the public this week on the claims. The man convicted of the 2017 murder of former ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Magaqwa has been sentenced to 2 life terms. This is one of the cases which were being investigated by the political task team. Today, judgment was handed down in the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court against Busiso Ngengwa. Ngengwa pleaded guilty, admitting to charges including Magaqwa's murder, attempted murder, and an unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition. Magaqwa was ambushed in 2017 outside a tuck shop in Umzimkhulu in KwaZulu-Natal. Judge Nontutuzelo Mlaba has described Ngengwa as someone with no regard for human life.
Count 1, conspiracy to commit murder, you are sentenced to 25 years imprisonment. Count 2, murder, you are sentenced to 25 years imprisonment. Count 3, attempted murder, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Count 4, attempted murder, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Count 5, attempted murder, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Count 6, malicious injury to property, you are sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Count 7, malicious injury to property, you are sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Count 8, malicious injury to property, you are sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Count 9, unlawful possession of a fully automatic firearm, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Count 10, unlawful possession of a firearm, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Count 11, unlawful possession of ammunition, you are sentenced to 1 year imprisonment.
What I would like to see is for everyone that was involved in killing my husband is getting their price. Because right now it's only the person that was sent that has been sentenced. And everyone else, they're still outside, which are people that are really behind the killing of my husband.
Today marks the start of a week-long period of mourning for former Deputy President David Mabuza. Mabuza died at the age of 64 last week following a short illness in hospital. He rose through the ANC ranks to become the party's deputy president in 2017 and the country's second in charge in the following year until 2023. President Cyril Ramaphosa says Mabuza will be honored in a state funeral category 2 on Saturday, and mourners gathered for a prayer service at Mabuza's homestead in Barberton.
We have all agreed that we must tell the story of the person David Mabuza, an activist, a patriot, a leader of the African National Congress.
A family on Gauteng's East Rand is reeling from the death of their teenage girl who died at a Sweet 16 ceremony. A woman rammed her car on a group of young girls at the event last month, leaving 13-year-old Priti Mahlangu dead and her peers injured. It's alleged that the disgruntled woman, who happens to be a neighbor of the hosting family, took issue with what she allegedly labeled as revealing traditional attire. The young girls were celebrating the Sweet 16 ceremony known as Umhlonyane in the Zulu culture.
3 cars approached. We managed to turn back 2 of the cars. But then one of the car went through the barricade, and when she was approaching the kids, I jumped in front of the car, trying to stop her. She stopped for a couple of seconds and then she bumped me. after bumping me, I managed to slide to the side and punch the windscreen, and it cracked. And then after that punching of the window, she just drove straight into the crowd of children and ran over a child twice, because when they were busy pushing each other in that stampede, the kid lost balance and she fell. When she fell, she drove over.
Judge Selbin Benenge, accused of sexual harassment, says consenting adults are free to engage in relationships of their choosing. Benenge was in the hot seat today for the first time, testifying at a tribunal investigating the allegations against him. A junior employee, Andiswa Mengo, has accused the top judge of making unwanted sexual advances towards her between 2021 and 2022. When asked by his legal counsel about assertions that he is a judge and should not have engaged in such a relationship, Benenge gave the following response.
That is a notion that is hard to fathom. The notion that a judge cannot have affection. I believe that there's a fallacy when it comes to that. I think what is important is to view people as adult individuals. They are free to engage in whatever form of relationship as long as there's mutual consent.
And some experts believe climate change could be linked to the population decline of the blue crane bird. The national bird's conservation status has been changed from threatened to vulnerable by the regional Red Data Book of Birds. The Overberg region, in particular in the Western Cape, has seen an alarming decline with a 44% drop in the past 15 years.
A master's student, Michelle Bauer, did a study looking at blue cranes nesting, and she found that at higher temperatures, the nesting success is lower. And given that we know that the Western Cape is becoming hotter and drier with climate change, this is obviously a concern for nesting birds.
And that's it from us. Thank you for watching.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.